Hey everyone, the Outdoor Guys from Jesse Brown's alive and well, coming to you via the Carolina Outdoors. We're broadcasting from Studio Jesse Brown's because we're not in Studio D where we normally are. Thanks to TJ Boggs for taking care of me. Easy for me to say. Bill Barty on this side, Wes Lawson on that side.
How we doing, everybody?
Everybody says we're doing great, whether you're waking up early on a Saturday morning or listening to us via podcast or maybe even YouTube. My mama already said we had a face for radio, or I did, not you, Wes. But in this case, a face for YouTube. So you can check out the Jesse Brown's YouTube channel to check all this out. Now, Wes, every time I set it up just like this, we talk oftentimes about travel on the Carolina Outdoors, and that's something that people are not doing right now. But when you're preparing in normal settings to go traveling, you always like to know some of the customs that the places that you're going have. And of course, I think you've talked about this. It's a great book that you know and have recommended for years. What's the title of that?
That book is called Kiss, Bow, or Shake Hands.
So it brings to mind the cultural situations that you may be put in as you travel to different countries around the world, different regions around the world. Things like using your right hand to shake, never your left. The reason is the right hand represents a clean hand, and the left hand in many cultures is the opposite. It's a dirty hand. Kissing, of course, what cheek do you start with if you're in Europe? And you know how they do. Kiss one cheek, back up, kiss the other cheek.
Yep.
How that works. They're going to have to rewrite that book, right?
I think they're going to have a new edition coming out. I'm not so sure that going forward that everybody's going to be so apt to want to embrace or to shake hands, especially with strangers. Maybe with family, we might all become huggers once again. But I think, kind of at large, handshake deals might not be handshake deals anymore.
So I did a little bit of studying to talk about this. These are traditions that may be going by the wayside. We'll post this up on the Jesse Brown's Facebook page. You're welcome to make your own comment of a tradition that's going to go away or be severely impacted by this pandemic that we're all suffering through, so to speak, right now. But anyway, the handshake. The history of the handshake, they say, dates back to the 5th century BCE, before the Common Era, in Greece. It's a symbol of peace. I think we all knew that. It had to do with showing the person that you were greeting or welcoming that you did not have a weapon. So during this time in Greece, that's the way you did it. You shook hands to show the other person that you were not carrying a weapon and that you came in peace. The Romans had the same, a little different though. Theirs was more of an arm grab.
Yep.
Wes, is the handshake, you think it's gone?
I think it's not totally gone. I think it will be much more reduced in its frequency. We're not going to do it as much. Fist bumps were already taking over a lot. That became in a matter of years, multi-generational, multicultural. It really took over. I think we're going to see more of that or something even more remote.
Well, that's a whole nother thing, the DAP.
Yeah.
So we did just in this time in the past couple of months, and people can think of it too, we went from handshaking to dapping. We'll get into that too. I guess the DAP is multicultural now, but it was taken from really the black community, the African American community, as a sign of unity, so to speak. The dignity and pride is what the DAP stands for. So we went from that to some kind of deal with the chicken wing elbow bump to then some kind of weird dance with your heel. I didn't do all those, just FYI, Carolina Outdoor listeners. I couldn't keep up. That's too close to dancing for me. But do you think the bow could come back into vogue in our country?
Well, let's give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. It could be salutes. The military salutes all go back to the chivalric era of knights. They would use their right hand, which was usually their weapon-yielding hand, to push up the visor of their helmet so that they could make eye contact, and it would show you that you're not armed, you have no ill intention. Maybe bowing, maybe saluting, maybe finger guns. Maybe we'll be like Fonzie and finger gun. Who knows?
I like it. I always love a good Fonzie reference. I got one, and of course we're talking traditions that are going by the wayside, being severely impacted, like the handshake. What about the hug? Now, the hug is a sign of embrace. Even your closest loved ones, your mom, will hug a child, but if you have adult parents or grandparents, the hug is out. In fact, we're still keeping that 6 feet, and we like to think this is a temporary situation, but it has to impact who you are going to hug in the safe future anyway.
Well, think about hugs. If in a multi-generational family, hugs skip a generation. If you have grandparents, parents, and children, the middle-aged person gets the weakest hug. The grandparent and the grandchildren get the biggest, strongest, most intense embrace. But the rest of us are kind of left there. You get a side hug, you lean in a little bit polite, but it's already skipping a middle generation because you're just the bringer of the grandchildren. So it's already on the way out, I would argue, in a cynical standpoint. The hug might still be there. It's a big part of the Southern culture of mama and them and all that kind of stuff. But
mama and them.
But that might be on the way out. And there's lots of ways to show affection. There's lots of ways to not get the flu.
True. It makes a good point. Hey, I've got another tradition, and again, we're the Outdoor Guys from Jesse Brown's. Wes Lawson, General Manager of Jesse Brown's. Bill Barty right here, Outdoor Guy, on the Carolina Outdoors. You're listening to us either via the airwaves of WBT up and down the eastern seaboard on a Saturday morning. Many of you maybe via podcast. We invite you to rate and review us, especially if it's positive ratings and reviews, so that other people can listen, as well as we're airing via YouTube as well. So welcome everyone. Hey, let me see if you can get this. If you're on Facebook, we will post up there these traditions. Please reply and include ones that you think are going to go away because of this COVID-19 pandemic. Maybe they're not going to go away, but they will be severely impacted. Here's one that I thought of, and it is a cultural deal that began centuries ago. In fact, in ancient Greece, it was a popular symbol, the moon, symbolizing the moon, connected to Artemis. So, do you know what it is, Wes? The cultural symbol that represents the moon and the god Artemis. Is Artemis a god?
Yep. So are we talking about mooning people?
No, I'm going to read it. Blowing out birthday candles.
Okay.
So where does birthday cake and birthday candles come from? It represents the moon and Artemis, associated with Artemis. Many ancient cultures also believed that the smoke from the candles, when you blew them out, carried prayers and messages to the heavens, to the gods that they worshipped. Something like that. So anyway, think about all those birthday parties that we've all attended. We've been here and there and seen, whether it be a 2-year-old child or whether it be a 92-year-old grandma, blow out these candles. Now, you know what's going on with that, exhaling all of that breath.
The water droplets.
The water droplets that come out that...
You're kind of ruining birthday cake for me right now.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, everybody. I didn't mean to be this way, but it's a topic to think about, right? Are blowing out the candles on birthday cakes, is all of that going by the wayside?
Well, you mentioned this. We've got a birthday coming up in our house this weekend. Maybe we'll just put the candle or candles on a slice for the birthday boy to blow out so we can still have our cake without water droplets.
I like the solution.
So we can still do it. It's just maybe we'll move the cake or the slice closer to him, put the candles on there. He does that. The rest of the cake is safe. It's going to be really hard, especially for some of those big birthdays, to not have a birthday cake with some candles.
Wow. Well, I think it's going.
You're probably right.
I'm not dying for that birthday cake after some of my children have blown on it anyway.
Getting some water droplets on there.
Getting some water droplets on there. Not to make light, but anyway, we're talking about traditions that may go by the wayside here with this COVID-19 situation, pandemic. And that's the way traditions are started. Wes, I think this is one of your quotes that you brought up, at least taught to me, that I've never forgotten, though. There are those who celebrate traditions and those who make up new traditions. And what causes traditions is change. And we have definitely gone and are going through a change. And where we come out on the other side will be traditions gone by and also new traditions created.
Yep.
So anyway, go over to Jesse Brown CLT. We're active on Facebook. We're active on Instagram. We don't just have fish pictures and outdoor sunrises and sunsets. We also have what traditions are going to change, do you think, in our world or in your world. Please share with us there on Facebook. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, come back with more of the Carolina Outdoors. Am I yelling?
No. The lights not turning on.
Oh my gosh. You know the worst thing you could do right now?